Welcome back to our journey through the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. In this series, we explore how power works in history, business, and everyday life. If you haven't watched the first 2 episodes, go check them out. We've already covered the first 8 laws. Today, we continue with Laws 9 to 13, which focus on persuasion, influence, and strategic positioning. These 5 laws will teach you why arguments rarely change minds, how negativity spreads like a disease, the secret to making people need you, why selective honesty can be a weapon, how to get people to help you by appealing to their self-interest. Let's get started. Law 9. Win through your actions, never through argument. Have you ever won an argument only to realize you've lost the person? That's because words rarely change minds, actions do. Greene warns us that arguing is often counterproductive. Even if you have the best logic, arguments create resentment. People don't like being proven wrong, and when they feel humiliated, they'll hold it against you. Key. Quote, "Any momentary triumph you think you have gained through argument is really a Pyrrhic victory. The resentment and ill will you stir up is stronger and lasts longer than any momentary change of opinion." Example: Michelangelo versus Pope Julius II. Michelangelo, one of the greatest artists of all time, was known for his sculpting. When Pope Julius II ordered him to paint the Sistine Chapel ceiling, Michelangelo didn't want to do it. He believed it was beneath him. Instead of arguing, Michelangelo accepted the challenge and let his masterpiece do the talking. His breathtaking frescoes turned critics into admirers, proving his genius far more effectively than any debate could have. Modern relevance. In leadership and business, success speaks louder than words. A manager who produces results earns respect, while one who argues about their abilities loses credibility. On social media, endless debates rarely change opinions, but those who showcase their expertise through work and achievements gain real influence. Lesson: instead of wasting time trying to convince people with words, let your actions make your case undeniable. Law 10. Infection. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. Have you ever felt drained after spending time with certain people? That's because emotions, especially negative ones, are contagious. Greene warns us that misery spreads like a disease. Associating with negative or unlucky individuals can drag you down no matter how strong you are. Key quote: "You can die from someone else's misery. Emotional states are as infectious as diseases." Example: Lola Montez and King Ludwig I of Bavaria. King Ludwig I of Bavaria was a respected ruler, but everything changed when he fell for Lola Montez, a scandalous and manipulative woman. Her reputation and reckless behavior led to public outrage. Eventually, the backlash forced Ludwig to abdicate. Had he distanced himself from Montez, he might have kept his throne. Modern relevance. Toxic relationships, whether in personal life or the workplace, can drain your energy and derail your success. In business, surrounding yourself with negative or incompetent people can ruin your reputation. Financially, associating with reckless individuals can lead to serious losses. Lesson: stay away from those who bring chaos and failure into their own lives. Their misfortune will become yours if you're not careful. Law 11. Learn to keep people dependent on you. Power comes from making others need you. If people can function without you, your influence fades. Greene teaches us that if you give away too much knowledge or independence, others might replace you. Instead, you should create relationships where people rely on you for success, stability, or resources. Key. Quote, "Make people depend on you for their happiness and prosperity, and you have nothing to fear. Never teach them enough so that they can do without you." Example: Otto von Bismarck's political strategy. Otto von Bismarck, the mastermind behind German unification, was a master of making people dependent on him. He positioned himself as the one person who could maintain balance between the king and the political elite. By carefully managing alliances and conflicts, he ensured that neither side could function without him, securing his power for decades. Modern relevance. In business, companies like Apple create ecosystems, iPhones, MacBooks, services that make customers dependent on their products. Employees who master rare skills are harder to replace, ensuring job security. In relationships, those who provide emotional or financial stability create dependence, making them more difficult to abandon. Lesson: the more people rely on you, the more power you have. Never teach them enough to operate without you. Law 12. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. A well-placed act of honesty or generosity can lower people's defenses, making them more susceptible to influence. People trust those who show sincerity, even if it's only occasional. A small act of kindness can be a Trojan horse for deeper manipulation. Key. Quote, "One sincere and honest move will cover over dozens of dishonest ones. Open-hearted gestures of honesty and generosity bring down the guard of even the most suspicious people." Example: the conman Victor Lustig and Al Capone. Victor Lustig, a legendary conman, once tricked Al Capone by borrowing $50,000 for an investment. Instead of running away, he returned the money, claiming the deal had failed. This act of honesty won Capone's trust, making him an easy target for later scams. Modern relevance. Businesses use free trials to gain trust before charging customers. Salespeople offer small gifts to make buyers feel obligated to return the favor. In politics, a leader who makes occasional humble gestures can mask larger manipulations. Lesson: a strategic act of honesty or generosity can open the door to deeper influence. Law 13. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. People do not help out of kindness or past favors. They help when it benefits them. Key quote: if you need to turn to an ally for help, do not bother to remind him of your past assistance and good deeds. Instead, uncover something in your request that will benefit him, and emphasize it out of all proportion. Example: the war between the Greek city-states. When Athens needed Sparta's help against Persia, they didn't beg. Instead, they argued that if Athens fell, Sparta would be next. This self-interest-based argument convinced Sparta to join the fight. Lesson: if you want someone's help, don't appeal to emotions. Show what's in it for them. Final takeaways. Which of these laws do you find the most powerful? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this, hit like and subscribe. 8 books at a glance, and stay tuned for laws 14 to 20 in the next episode. See you soon.